Modernise. Ms Adam.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Tomorrow marks exactly 187 years since a boy was born in a coastal town in the northeast of Scotland in Fraserburgh, known fondly as the Broch. On the 6th of June 1838, that boy was born on Commerce Street, the son of the town's harbour master. His name was Thomas Blake Glover. I doubt anyone at that time could have imagined just how far that Fraserburgh boy would go, that one day he'd be honoured by the Emperor of Japan, that he'd transform entire industries and economies, and that his legacy would still live on today, not just in history books, but in the shared culture, education and innovation that continue to link Scotland and Japan. Before I continue, Presiding Officer, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests joining us in the gallery today. The Consul General of Japan and Cultural Consul at the Consulate General of Japan in Edinburgh. It is an honour to welcome our guests to Parliament and to nurture the international friendships that mean so much to Scotland. Just last week, I had the pleasure of meeting the Consul General at the Japan Cross-Party Group, where I also met the Japanese Ambassador to the UK, His Excellency. It has been a week of Scottish-Japan connections. Presiding Officer, the scale of Glover's global impact is truly extraordinary. He has supported 5 young Japanese students to travel to Britain to study. These 5, called the Choshu 5, went on to help build modern Japan, from a Prime Minister shaping the Constitution to railway systems, modern engineering and infrastructure, reformed currency and finance, and one in particular made his mark on the education system, including introducing education for the deaf. And that connection brings this story very close to home for me. As many in the Chamber know, my father is deaf, and he is also a deaf historian. And about this time last year, he introduced me to Dr Manako Yabe, a deaf Japanese academic and postdoctoral research associate at Heriot-Watt University, whose work focuses on deaf studies and communication technology. And I'm also delighted to welcome Dr Yabe, who joins us in the gallery today. They had connected at a deaf history event in Edinburgh and began exploring historical links between Scotland and Japan. And it was during those conversations they had discovered that Thomas Blake Glover has supported the very group of scholars who helped introduce deaf education in Japan. My father, knowing the significance of Fraserburgh to me, invited me to meet him and Dr Yabe there at the Glover Garden on Commerce Street, the very site of Glover's birthplace. The garden has been lovingly created and is maintained by the owner, Michael Menny, who welcomed us warmly and shared stories of his own visit to the Glover Garden in Nagasaki, where Glover's former home is now preserved, and it is visited by millions. In Japan, Glover is remembered, respected and celebrated. And after that visit and the conversations we had with Michael Menny, I thought, why not here? Why not do something in Fraserburgh? I began speaking with local community leaders, and before long a festival committee was formed as a branch of the Fraserburgh Rotary Club. Made up of passionate volunteers, there are people who have given their time, energy and hearts to create something truly special for the town that they love in an extraordinary short space of time. Although she's far too modest to take credit herself, I want to recognise Councillor Anne Bell, who has played a central role as chair of the committee, along with all of those involved. This Sunday, the 8th of June, we will come together for the first inaugural Thomas Blake Glover Festival. And this isn't just about looking back, it's about bringing people together to celebrate Fraserburgh's connection to the wider world and everything that we have to be proud of. There is so much talent and creativity in Fraserburgh. The afternoon programme features performances from amazing local talent, and it will also be a day of international friendship. We will be joined by several distinguished guests, including the Consul General and Deputy CRO EMEA of the Mitsubishi Corporation, Ronnie Watt OBE, recipient of the Order of the Rising Sun, and Lady Saltoun. Presiding Officer, I fear trying to mention every person and group involved in case I leave someone out, but the full programme of the distinguished guests and the lists will be available online for anybody who wants to follow along with the celebrations. On the day, we're going to plant a cherry tree in Glover's memory, right there on the site of his birth. A living symbol of connection and growth, with the roots in the Broch just like Glover, but looking upwards to the rising sun and blossoming each year leading up to his birthday to remind us of our Japan connections. That connection continues in ways that feel almost poetic. If you stand at Fraserburgh Harbour, the very one where Glover's father once worked as a harbour master, and look out to sea, you'll see wind turbines, forming part of the Ocean Winds Murray East offshore wind project. Turbines with Mitsubishi, Lynx, and the Glover Company helped bring this into being. Fraserburgh is a town where people simply get on with it. They work very hard. It's a place with global reach and a thriving fishing industry. The people there continually recognise and act on their potential. There are plans to expand the harbour, a master plan for future growth, and there's a strong and growing campaign to bring back rail to connect Fraserburgh to Aberdeen. And these are the kinds of forward-looking projects that I believe would have resonated with Glover himself. He introduced Japan's first steam locomotive, he modernised shipbuilding, he supported education reform, he was a connector of people and ideas and a true visionary. And I believe he'd be proud of what's happening in Fraserburgh, not just because we're remembering him, but because we're building something worthy of the legacy that he left behind. It's about making sure that a boy born on Commerce Street 187 years ago isn't just remembered, but that he's celebrated. And through him, we remember what Fraserburgh has contributed to the world and what it still can. So I want to thank everyone who has helped make this happen. The Festival Committee, Fraserburgh Rotary Club, Michael Menny, Councillor Anne Bell, Dr Manako Yabe, and of course my father, who introduced me to the legacy of Thomas Blake Glover, a wee boy from the Broch. Thank you.